Beautiful about the Shem MiShmuel is he deals with things that we know about but never really went deeply into, and you see that he just takes a deep dive into so many things. So believe it or not, we're going to talk about what Parnasa and Geula are all about, and believe it or not, what the machlokas between Yaakov and Yosef was about whether Ephraim or Menashe comes first. Let's see those psukim. VaYechi Yosef otam me'im birkav yishtachu lapav arza. Right, Yosef brings his two sons to Yaakov. V'yikach Yosef et shneim et Ephraim yamino mismol Yisrael, ve'Menashe mismol bismolo miyamin Yisrael v'yagesh elav, and he goes towards him. That means Ephraim was to Yosef's right, and Menashe was to Yosef's left, and Yaakov facing him. That would mean that Menashe was to Yaakov's right, and Ephraim was to Yaakov's left, right? That's a pretty simple, if you're having problems seeing that out there, so just draw it or something. It's not that hard to understand. And that means that he was lining up that Menashe, the older brother, should get the best. He's the Yamin. Yamin, we always know. Yamin Hashem Osecha, Yamin Hashem Romeima. Right? So Yosef lined up that Yaakov should put his right hand on Menashe. And then lo and behold, Yisach Yisrael is Yamino v'Yashas Rosh Ephraim, and then Yaakov did the split, and he turned and put his right hand on Rosh Ephraim, who was Sayer, and even though he's younger, Vesmola Rosh Menashe Sikel et Yadav Ki Menashe HaBechor. There's some psukim in between, and he gave him the bracha. V'yar Yosef Ki Yoshis Adav Yad Yamino Rosh Ephraim v'Yera Be'einav. He didn't like this. Yidmoch Yad Avi Lasiroto Me'al Rosh Ephraim, and Yosef kind of tried to push Yaakov's hand back onto back onto the head of Menashe as he had set it up. Al Rosh Menashe v'Yomer Yosef El Aviv Lo Ken Avi Ki Kabechor Kizah Bechor Menashe Bechor Sim Yad Yamincha Al Rosho. Right, and I'll just add, as often happens when we think like we're outsmarting the Gedolim, we're not. You know, Yimoyin Aviv. Right, it's just when we find Yimoyin by Yosef himself, right, and also a extremely dramatic moment when Yosef didn't fall to Ashes Potiphar, didn't fall to that, and Yaakov held back. But Yomer Yadati b'ni Yadai. No, I know exactly what I'm doing. It's not a mistake. Gam hu yelam, gam hu yigdal. Menashe will be very fine. But however, Achiv HaKaton, Ephraim yigdal mimenu. Bizarro yeh melo agoyim. I'll just mention now that that's obviously a general idea, but Chazal, believe Rashi also brings down that Gidon, who did great things in Sefer Shoftim, came from Menashe, but Yoshua, who did much greater things, came from Ephraim. Okay, so when we think Yoshua, always remember that Yoshua comes from Ephraim, and he will be Zariyeh Melo Agoyim, right, and all the miraculous things that Yeshua did. He made the stands, the sun stood still for him, etc., and that's that. So incredible. But there's something going on here. Now, this is just, it's absolutely, again, a tour de force. It's phenomenal what the Shem MiShmuel did here. Look at the depth, how deep he takes this discussion and where it goes to. So let's see. This is from Tuf Reish Ayin Vav, a year that we often don't do for one reason. The other binyan Ephraim Menashe Shiozai Mevakish Lakdim et Menashe V'Yakov Avinu Hikdim et Ephraim. Yesh Lomar Dinei b'Medrash Rabbi Elazar Omer Hikish Geula leParnasa Parnasa leGeula. Parnasa and Geula are connected to each other. So I think for someone who has financial struggles, it doesn't need too much of an explanation. Oh yeah, right? Right? Oh yeah, that's right. But Parnas and Geula are deeply connected. I never saw this Chazal before. It's a beautiful Chazal. Ma Geula Kfalim or Keflayim, Av Parnasa Keflayim, Mar Parnasa B'choyom, Av Geula B'choyom. Geula and Parnasa have in fact these two ideas, that it's every day. Every day a person needs Parnasa, and every day there's a Geula. And both of them are Kfalim or Keflayim. The Chol Mefarshim Niskash b'Perish Kiflayim. What is that word? Nidchaku l'shnot hagirsa. They some change the girsa. Like what in the world is this? Okay. Well, Rabbeinu is going to make this girsa make not some sense, make beautiful sense. Let's see. Ubi on the son Amarnu. Right. I said. I need to send like a term of humility. Amarnu lefarish. I want to explain. Hey, you do it Yisrael. This is just beautiful. Ein lahem mitzias bolam haza mitzad ha-ma'arechet. Marechet means like the natural order of things. Like marechet in Hebrew, when you have a stereo system, we call it a marechet, right? A system, a sound system in a car.
It's
called
like
a
the world order.
The world order, right? So this is a yesod which we find in Shem MiShmuel, and don't think it's a Hasidic yesod. We find it very, very much in Torah Sagra. There's a Talmidim of the Gra named Rabbi Isaac Chaber who has an amazing amount on this topic. The Yisrael, we don't naturally exist. The Jewish people doesn't naturally exist. We have no place. We have no physical place, right? Eretz Yisrael is a ruchnistic reality. We existed, thousands of years. Without Eretz Yisrael, we do not have a makom in a certain way. And then Rabbi Isaac Chaber also brings this proof. Lo haya Avram roi laholid. Avram should have had a child, right? I want to add something, friends, from Rabbi Isaac Chaber. He says that Adam Arisha, Avram is called Adam Hagadol Ba'anokim. That's the name we called Avram, Adam Hagadol Ba'anokim. Why is it called Adam Hagadol Ba'anokim? Right? Because he was the second Adam. There was two marachot. There's two Sidrei Adam. There was Adam Arishon, who was the father of all mankind, and Noah, his great-great-great-grandson, who continued that. And then Avram, the father of the Jewish people, was Adam Hagadol Ba'anokim. And he says that there's a halakhic concept called ha'omid lisraf kisarv tami. Anything that's going to be burned as if it's burned already. If a person has a lulav that is supposed to get burned because it's a lulav odazara, etc., so you can't use it. Why can't you use it? Because it's yechi? No, not because it's yechi. You can't use it because it doesn't have a shiur. The Gemara in Sukkah says. What shiur doesn't have? A Sukkah has to be 3 or 4 tvachim, 3 hand widths, and it doesn't have a shiur. Because since it's standing to be burned, we consider it burned. So Rabbi Yitzchak Chaber takes that idea and applies it to Avram Avinu. Wow. Since Avram Avinu went into the Or Kasdim, he went into the Kivshan Eish, one of the famous early nisim of him, with Nimrod, threw him in. So Avram was Omid Lisrof, and only with Nes was, so he was Sarvatam, that means he was totally cut off. We refer to Avram as being the son of Terach, but he wasn't really Terach's son anymore. Avram is Adam HaGadol Ba'anokim, it's a new Marechet, right? And that Marechet, called Klai Yisrael, works in a whole different way. And that's what we have to remember ourselves as Jews, that we're something totally different. So where's our Metzias from? Hu chelkahu nachal asenu. V'chol Metzias Yisrael he'isarach me'Shem yisbarach l'bado. Alkein umazem mishula kochavim u'mishula offer. Sometimes we're compared to stars. Sometimes we're compared to dust. What is that? I mean, what you say? Like you say, oh, there's a phenomenal player. Sometimes he plays like a kochav, and sometimes he plays like a dust. What do you mean? It's like kiszoch, and when we're zocha olin od lekochav, because we can go up lekochav. We say aim yardim ad offer. We can go down until the offer, and that's you find. I don't want to go into it. I don't want to speak about Gnus and Yisrael, but sometimes you find Jews that got to the lowest places. The communists, the other things that. Now, how does a yid get to such a low place? Because we don't really have a place. So if we're unnatural, we're wild, we're iluyish, we're geniuses. So either we're like going up or going down, but we're not natural. We're driven. We're that's yisod. Well, King Gulas Yisrael. So now watch what he does here. So those 3 lines, I just want to emphasize. That's basic hashkafa. Now what he does here is like the Shem MiShmuel Chiddush. I've never seen this idea before. Well, King Gulas Yisrael, mebeina umas niskekes l'shnei yanim. Our gula needs kfalim, needs keflayim. There are 2 steps to our gula. Echad l'salik mehen shibud shalomas. One is to get rid of being underneath the goyim. So now we're good. No. Avadayin ain't speak. That's enough. Kiafilo achar sila koach omas me'aleim. Hello, ain't limit see America. So we still have nowhere to go. It's like all dressed up and nowhere to go. Person was naked. Now he's dressed up and now there's nowhere to go. So Klaiso. So now Germany's not being Meshabedis anymore. Yavan's not being Meshabedis anymore. Yes, but we don't have nowhere to go. I point out we have to understand how Eretz Yisrael fits into the whole thing. But Eretz Yisrael is a different type of reality than other places. Okay, that's even but we'd have to explain more the depth of Eretz Yisrael. But on a certain level, we have nowhere to go. So step 1 is, okay, the Goyim are away from you. Step 2 is what? No, our Gula has to be flying. Our Gula has to be 2 steps because we need another step because we aren't connected yet. This is incredible. Then we need a Kadosh Baruch Hu to take us. Kadosh Baruch Hu is motzi us. Now the Italians, right? Let's say the Italians. So Kadosh Baruch Hu, let's say Kadosh Baruch Hu will make a redemption for them or something. Now they're good, right? The Germans are on top of them, or the Swiss are on top of them, and now there's no one's on Esav. Now he's good, right? He's got his homeland, he's got his place, but Klal Yisrael doesn't have a place. Okay? Just, it's an incredible example of that. World War One.
Yeah.
Germany was decimated at the end in a certain way, but then 20 years later they make another war, right? So that teaches a lot about Koch HaMolech and things like that. But that there was a makom means because now the Russians are taking over, the French are coming in, whatever. And now they're away, and now we're matzmiach again. But Klal Yisrael doesn't work like that. We don't really have a place in the physical world on that level. Yisrael, therefore, we need a double gula. That's the idea. We need a double gula. Al Yisrael tzrichim gula b'kiflaim lo tzimi tachas yad umas v'lavim el tachas kanpei shechina. And v'zeu sheba arba l'shona shel gula, getting ready for Pesach. Gula v'otzeis v'tzalti v'ga'alti v'lakachti. Incredible. What's that v'lakachti? Right? Arba l'shona shel gula. Hotzeiti I get. Right? He took us out of v'tzalti v'ga'alti. Now after gula, what do you still need? Why do you need like? Now you have to figure out why you need all four.
Yeah.
But he's putting like the first three on one side in lakachti. I had galti, so Kadosh Baruch Hu saved the already. Why do you need lakachti after galti? Yeah. You need lakachti after galti because we still don't have a place. Shapell adei but lakachti lo nigmar gula. Wow. So that's. But what did the Medrash say? The Medrash said that gula. So I just want to show you. Just appreciate the Shem MiShmuel as Mefarish, right? As a commentator, I didn't look up this Medrash, but you see that the Mefarshim have a terrible time with this world, Keflayim. They don't know what to make out of it, and the Shem MiShmuel makes such a beautiful shot in it. That's, you see, he was a tremendous Torah person. It wasn't just, we don't just learn this for the great ideas and things like, you see that he lit up so many sugyas. So what's Parnasa? One is you have to open up the gates above, right? But there's still bad guys, spiritual bad guys, which should stop a person from getting shefim. Right? Wow. Yeah. So it means in Parnasa there's also two steps. One is I have to open up the, right? I'm not getting Parnasa. I'm not getting what I need. And we'll talk about what Parnasa means in a second, but I'm not getting it. So now I daven. Kadosh Baruch Hu says, "Oh, you opened up something now. Oh, so now I'm rich." No, because there's still mekatrigim. There's things which hold the shefa back. So you have to get the second thing. Bezel parnasa bekiflaim hotzah. One is hotzam kora shefa milamala v'hava ladam lamata. The two is the bring to a person. Incredible. Kamedrash yitin lecha brachot v'yitin lecha kibushein. What's that kibushein? Perish Rashi. Welcome with kaim shama brachos. The person has the brachos, but you need to make a kli. Right? Now, he goes to the next step. This is important. When we think Parnasa, we think, okay,
cash.
Right? 30,000 shekels a month, or 20,000 shekels a month. If you're in America, who knows what, right? $50,000 a year, $300,000 a year, whatever, right? Still not enough. Okay, it's good. No, Parnasa means kol tzarchei adam. It's not just, Parnasa isn't just the money in the bank account, food. Parnasa, lefarnei something means to take care of it in an overall way. Yadu shebechlal parnasim kol tzarchei adam. Hein gashmian, hein ruchnian. Lefarnei someone in ruchnius means to give them ideas to lefarnes, right? That's the part. But feel perish hamishna nikra. Even if you explain a mishnah, it's called lefarnes at the mishnah. The farnes at the chazal is that, right? The chazal perish Rashi pernas that the mishkan l'rochvo. I don't remember where that Rashi is. Okay, v'cheinami parnasa, right? Beautiful. So that's important. We'll see in the continuation why that's important. But Parnasa is also something which is Parnasa. There are two steps to Parnasa. There's opening up the Makor Shef and then receiving it. And Parnasa is more than just money. It's in Ruchnius also. It's taken care of. That's what the Farnei someone means to take care of. Right? We say I'm a Farnei someone. I don't just mean I'm giving him money. It means I'm taking care of him. And the full Parnasa is the physical and the spiritual. Now the other thing the Medrash had said was it's Parnasa b'choyom afgula b'choyom. So what's that? Vafilu, v'chein ma Parnasa b'choyom afgula b'choyom. Hainu mikochat ra'im harod fin tamid achar adam lahomo la'abdo ulachsnos b'chshav ra'ot v'kadosh baruch hu matzilenu v'golenu miyadam. Right. Wow. So what's the Parnasa b'choyom v'gula b'choyom? Right, a person has to be saved every single day. There are things, obstacles, right? Yeah. People know that. Some people feel the obstacles. Sometimes we don't see the obstacles. It's like I saw a comic one time. A person's walking. Sameach v'tuv levav, and there's really someone about to kill him. And someone about to hit him with a baseball bat. I think they have like a thing with a guy davening. It's like a guy swings and he bows down, and the swing misses him. Lo some label is that, right? No, I don't need any salvation. I'm good. No, not sure like that. There's a lot of kochas out there. The kochad raim harotfim tamid achar adam hamamo. I don't know what that means exactly. Avda lachnisbo machshavat zarot. Kadosh Baruch Hu says this. We go lenim yadam. Come on, Gemali Kadosh Baruch Hu. Oh, shozlo eni yachalo. That the Mesil Shom brings at the end of the first parak, right? Second parak. Kadosh Baruch Hu would save you. Be in the chomini kochad ra hara. Kadosh Baruch Hu shomer et amo Yisrael ad. Right? Halas Shem kol goyim. Right? The goyim know how much they're coming against us. And the nira od lomar sheguula parnasa af she besignon echad. This is gevaldik. So now he's going deeper. So Geula and Parnasa we learned today, something we never learned. So there's two aspects to Geula, and there's to Geulas Yisrael. There's two aspects to Geulas Yisrael. There's two aspects to Parnasa. So on that level they're the same, but they also are different. Let's see. Mikoma can be a shepherd b'nei. There's a difference between them. Shagulas he pizur, v'Geula he is kapzut v'achdut. Right? Gulas is separation. And Geula is coming together, right? We imagine. Kapsenu Yacham Yarba Kanfod. Look, the Arba is always spreading out, 4 Kanfod arts. And Geula is Kapsenu Yacham Lartzenu, Komi Lartzenu, right? We're going to come together. Right? And we're going, the non-Jews represent the world of separation. The whole thing is, right? Physically it's like that, spiritually like that. Right now, Jews are living with tremendous amount of hashbos and chitzonius and yavan and esav and madai, all the different things. And now we're going to go into Kadosh Baruch Hu's world. We're going to go into a world of achdus. Parnasa hil hepech. This is beautiful. But Parnasa is coming from a makor elyon and it's spreading out to everybody. Wow. So Parnasa, so it's 2 steps, but it's different 2 steps. Parnasa hil hepech. Hotzami olam hayichud v'abal olam hariboy she'olam hazeh she'olam hazeh hu olam hariboy k'mo shekasav maral. So incredible, right? So we asked at the beginning, what are Parnas and Geula all about? We learned so much more about it, right? We know it. Parnas is a very wide term. Geula is salvation. They both have 2 aspects to them, but the 2 aspects work the opposite, right? The two steps of Geula. I'm leaving the world of pirud, of much, and I'm going to the world of achdus, kapsenu. And in the world of Parnas, I'm going from the Makam Yichud of the Parnas above, and it spreads out. Okay? Wow. Now, Rosai, you're wondering, very nice, what in the world does this have to do with Yaakov and Yosef? Yeah. What in the world does it have to do with Ephraim and Menashe? Who could connect such things? So we know someone who could. His name was Shmuel. His last name was Bornstein. Venir Lomer. The Yaakov Yosef Hema B'schusam HaParnas HaGeula Yisrael. Also, another totally new idea I had never heard. The Yaakov and Yisrael are the kochos of Geula and Parnasa, right? The shrashim, the roots of why we have, like the hashpas of the Avos, where that stands of an idea that the Machshavas Farm and Chassid Shalom talk about all the time, right? That's the idea of Ushpizin, is that we're getting the kochos from the Sheva Roin into us, and they're still coming to us. The Yaakov Yosef Mehem B'schutam Parnasa v'Geula B'Yisrael. B'schut Yaakov HaParnasa. This is very interesting. I would have said Yosef and Kalkin. Right. That's a good question. I would have also said that Yaakov was I would have also said that. Right. But let's see his proof that Yaakov was related to Parnasa. K'moshe Kasav Yaakov, Elokim haroati modid ayom hazeh. Right? Yaakov spoke about Hashem was taking care of him. Haroa oti modid ayom hazeh. That the Kadosh Baruch Hu was taking care of me. This is a good ride. Another nice proof, right? When Yaakov came to Egypt, that's when the Rahav stopped. So you see that Yaakov relates to Parnasa. Yaakov, we know, is the Kol. He was the Tiferes. He was the Rachamim. He brought the din of Yitzchak and the Chesed of Abraham together, and therefore he was Kol HaKol, just like Parnasa is a Kol. Kolel, Parnasi, Davar HaKol, Kol, Starchut, Heim Baruch, Heim Begashmit Kanal. Okay, then he brings more. Interesting. Okay, well, let's go with that. So Yaakov is Parnasa. Again, I have the same ha'ara that you had. I thought Yosef was Parnasa. It must be different aspects to it, but I know. But I want to talk about this now. The Geula b'schut Yosef. Now, the Geula comes b'schut Yosef. Ki yadua, shemidato shel Yosef goel, ikri sod. Ikri b'sod im yigalcha tov. But Tovi midato shel Yosef ki yadil mevinim. Okay, so now, friends, he's saying something Kabbalistic, yeah, which I don't really know, but there's a pasuk in Rus which connects Geula to Tov, yeah?
Yeah.
And that is the midah of Yosef is Tov. Yesh lasbir dvarim. Let's go a little further and I'll explain a little bit. Yesh lasbir svarim al pimasha kaso arizal shekol golius bos machmas pegam habris. Whoa. The pegam habris, the pegam kedushas Yisrael, right? Yeah. That's where the golus comes from. Okay, now, we could say that on our own, but the Arizal said that. Okay, move on. She Yosef, she was Yisod, Shmiras Habris, that was Yosef's great thing, that he protected himself, B'schuto hagula b'Yisrael. Now, let's explain this a little bit, right? Let's saber tozen. First off, the Arizal said that, okay, so that's enough for us.
Yeah.
That there's a, because, but what's the whole point of that? The Shmiras Habris, right, in a way we can understand a little bit, the idea is that they're kochus in a person, they could be mitpazer l'kol minei mekamod, and the person who doesn't, right, and keeps it focused in the right way, and keeps all those tremendous kochos, that's the koach yisod. That's the koach of it doesn't go anywhere to where it's supposed to go, right? That's just like just to put it into terms that we would, more open terms that we could, a person has tremendous abilities, but he's spending all his time thinking about stupid things, right? That's not the koach yisod, right? He's thinking about how to steal, When I was younger, I remember I used to think a lot about how to be a criminal. Not that I wanted, and I had no reason to be a criminal. I'm not like that. It's not my yetzer hara. I don't want to steal from people. I never wanted to. Certainly now I don't want to. It doesn't speak to me. Like taking money, the opposite. I'm honest. But like it would be interesting. How could you rob a bank? Really, the reason they robbed the bank somewhere, they went to the parking lot. It sounded like something incredible, right?
Yeah.
So spending a lot of time in that. Spending a lot of time. So then I'm taking my koach haseichel and I'm spreading it all over the place. But then a person gets focused in life. He says, no, I want to be focused on my family. Yeah. I want to be focused on making parnas. I want to focus on my learning. I want to be focused on that's like the koach yisod. All that machshava that could be all over the place is them. Now, that's also tov. Tov is language of hemshech, we've discussed before. Like hatavad and neirot is that hatavas and neiris is I lit the candles, they go out, and I clean them, and I light again. It's the koach hemshech. Ra is continuation. Ra is separation. Teroim b'shevet barzol. Ra is when we don't see things that connected, right? Yeah. This seems so bad to me, right? When a person has good to his life, so he says, "Oh, Hashem is with me," right? When bad things happen to a person, he doesn't see that. That's the Ra, because I don't see that our job is to connect it anyway, to show the connect. No, it's not really Ra. Ein Ra Yorim min Hashemayim. Call it tova. But what's it called? Tova? I'm not seeing the connection. I don't see, right? That's what it means. I don't see how if you love me, you could do that.
Yeah.
So that means I don't see the connection. So tov is that. So that's the same thing. The person who's using all this kokus the right way, everything's connected. Yosef was golech. Yosef was midas hatov. This is my understanding. I'm not saying that, but Yosef was midas hatov because everything is the hemshech is always in him. Yeah. No, and there's nothing which is going to hatzida to waste, right? And it means and dafka because he was in such a tremendous nisayin. Right, specifically because he was in such a nisayin, that's why we see it. Right, you see someone else. He also didn't waste anything. Yeah, but he didn't have any challenges not to waste it. Yosef had the greatest challenge in the world. That things could go all over the place, and he's still focused. That's the koach of tov in him. That's the koach of gula. Okay, now, so both say so incredible. So let's just get that for a second. That's what Rabbeinu says, that Yaakov is keneged parnasa and Yosef is keneged. And not just connected. Yaakov is our source. Why we have Parnasa today, it's somehow rooted in Yaakov. And why do we have Gula today? It's somehow rooted in Yosef. Yeah. Now we get to Shem MiShmuel Ephraim. Incredible. In Shem MiShmuel Ephraim, Ufurash B'katuv Menashe, Ki Nashani Elokim et Kol Amali. Right? He forgot all my negative. Right? I was redeemed. Right? I forgot what does it mean? A person when he's nigal, I don't remember the bad times. Don't worry about it, right? Like a couple has hard times and good times. They don't remember. We don't want to remember the bad times. We're in Geula. Geula helps you forget things, right? Ephraim akshin hefrani elokim ba'aretz anyi, right? And I became fruitful in the land of my affliction. Fruitful. That's like parnasadik, yeah. V'nir ki shnei shemot el makbilim lev geula parnasa. This is just beautiful. Menashe geula, kamosha kasav svarna shisham Menashe. The Shem Menashe, the Sforno says, Maram is Ramasha Kasav La'asi, Kinishkuch Atzaras Rishonos, Kinister Meinai. The pasuk says And the Sforno connects them. In the Gula Asida, we're going to forget about things, right? Auschwitz, okay, no big deal, right? Now, Auschwitz, now the Inquisition, now October 7th, now all the Tsars. In the Matzav Gula, we forget things. That's mamish just like that. Person feels that in his own life. That's the Nishkach Mizeh, right? Even like two people, we had a fight. Nishkach Mizeh.
If a person moves $1 billion, he's going to forget all the
Right, exactly. I had so much, but now I'm living. That's exactly. That's the way of people, and it's the way of the Gula. So Menashe, I think that's very, very stark. I never thought of it that way. The Shanil Kim is called Moli. So Menashe is Yisod Hagula, and Ephraim Mekbil Parnashi had Pashtud Lamata Mafrem et Barabet. Ephraim is very stark also, right? Efrani Elokim Baretz. That's the idea of Parnas. Like we said, it's the whole idea of spreading. And more and riboy, here you take $100, you take $100, you take some bread, like a shop. Now watch this. Now he connects it. No, not yet. Now we're ready to put things together. After all that, now we know what Parnas is. Watch this. Now this is it's a tour de force brilliance. I didn't know. If you asked me to put these things together, I would have no idea, right?
Rubik's Cube.
Right, but look what he does. So what do we have? Let's think. We have a koach called Parnasa. Yeah. We have a koach called Gula. Both those are kiflayim, and we saw in the Medrash connected Gula Parnasa. So it's not like he's not. Shem MiShmuel wasn't coming from nowhere, stam brilliance and putting these things together. We saw in the Medrash Gula Parnasa. We learned what Gula and Parnasa is, and we learned that Gula relates to Yosef. And Yaakov relates to Parnasa, and Menashe in his name relates to Geula, and Ephraim in his name relates to Parnasa. Okay, now, what are we going to do with that? That's why Yaakov, who was a Parnasadik, he saw Ephraim's kochos. He was more. Yaakov was living in the world of Parnasa, the big Parnasa. Gashmi is everything, right? Now, I just to give a mashal for that, you can have a person who sometimes, I just saw a video of someone who I know his my brother-in-law is his nephew, Chanan's own. So his thing in life is to stop people from being cremated. It's incredible. Wow. That's what he's done for 30, 40 years. I don't know how long that. Wow. Yeah, he's an older person already. He's still working on it. I was very, very impressed.
Even in Israel or the whole?
In the whole world. I mean, it doesn't happen so much in Israel, but he's. So I was very impressed. I know, and my brother-in-law's Zon was his name is Goldberg, but his grandfather was Shachna Zon. This is Shachna Zon, the famous. You heard of Shachna Zon? Right. So Shachna Zon is my brother-in-law's grandfather. Wow. So this is his son. Shachna's son is named Elchanan. So what I want to say is this Yid is so beautiful. He is stopping people from getting cremated. Secular people, doesn't mean reform, conservative. Obviously, he's not working with Orthodox people. His whole life is dedicated to this thing. So when he's going to run into money, right, he's going to say, we have to, this is, I don't know him as a person, I'm just saying, right, I'm sure he gives money to Shivas Open. That's his thing, right? So so to speak, I know, that's just a shadow of a shadow of a shadow. But Yaakov cared about the Gula, and Yosef cared about Parnasa. Like we said, Yosef was definitely cared about Parnasa. But Yosef's ikr thing in the world was you have to get to the Gula. We want Mashiach. Like that's you say to someone else. You say to someone, "What's the problem in the community today? I have to take care of this. I'm honest. You saw them; they don't have any food. People aren't learning well. I have to go. No, we put it down for the Gula, right? So who's right? Who's right? Well, Mashiach. So they're both right. Yeah. You see it, right? It's a perspective. You're worried about today. Wow. What's first? What's central in my mind? Wow. So Yaakov's perspective was a Parnasadik perspective. I have to take care of the Shvatim. I have to take care of the world. After this, Sulam Mutzav Artzav. Right? And Yosef is thinking Gula, right? So therefore, Yosef says. So it's not stam. It's very deep. So that's why Yosef says Gula is Menashe's Gula. Father, you have to do Menashe. And Yaakov says no, it's about Ephraim, right? Lefia Amur. Let's go from Lefiza again. Lefiza yesh lomish Yaakov b'schuto parnas b'Yisrael mehaytam hiktim leFraim v'Yosef b'schuto hagula hiktim Menashe kolech lefi midatom. Lefia Amur yesh lefarish ma she'amar Yaakov lYosef gam hu yeh la'am. Right. So what did Yaakov say? Shatid yigidon letzei mimenu v'ulam achi v'katan yigdon mimenu shatid Yehoshua letzei mimenu shiyum Torah l'Yisrael. Ki Gidon lo matzinu rak shenasa neis al yadu v'chemet midyan. Gidon, the big thing, he had a nace in the Mechemet Midyan. Shuinin Gula, mitachas yad oivim, shayim oshel melem, v'hitzru lehem od. Klal Yisrael had a problem with Midyan, and Gidon took them out, right? What was that? That was a Geula.
Yeah.
Geula saved the Jewish people, right? But he wasn't Mefarnes them. That was Gidon was acting Menashedik. Jews are in Saras, you got to save them. Get them out of jail. That's Geula. That's Geula here. That's not Parnasa. If a Yid is in jail, my life is getting Yidden out of jail. Right? Pinyin Shvuyim. Getting Yidden out of jail. That's a Yosef Menashe Gidon Dikamaisa. Right? But Yeshua is Mefarnes the whole Klal Yisrael. He taught everybody, he took care of everybody. But Yeshua Mefarnes Yisrael v'limid otam Torah hiya parnasa b'kocha Torah docha et kocha chitzonim v'zenyin Ephraim. Yeshua wasn't just that he had bigger nisim. Yeah. The greatness of Yeshua was that he taught the whole Klal Yisrael Torah, like it says, lan be'om k'shel halacha, and he was on top. He was the leader of the whole Jewish people. But again, you could see that. Like, what's great? A person says, here, the Yid in the B'tzara, I'm going to save them. I'm getting them out of the Tzaras. That's huge. But that's Yosef, Menashe, Gidon, Dikamahalach, right? The Yaakov, Ephraim, Yeshua Mahalach is more to take care of things in the Klolis stick away, not in the Gula. So I just want to say one more word about this to make it understandable. The idea of Gula is like, obviously the big Gula is the big Gula. But when I see something, I have to redeem this person. It's different than thinking I have to take care of them. That's what, to understand the concepts a little bit, right? And some people will be more like, I have to redeem someone than say I have to take care of them. It's a different kibun in the neshama. Now, Bosa, let's just finish. It's incredible. How is this in Gula in Avodas Hashem? Pi Gula mikochas achitzonim ma'ikim. Kamo shegadnu la'el b'had Gula b'choyom. Right? U'parnasa hi arsal akis v'sor sheb'lev Yisrael lavian sheva shemaim. Now he's taking it a deeper level, which I don't understand as well. We're just going to finish the paragraph quickly. The Geula is that there are kochas that are stopping me, and I want to get saved from them. And Parnas is that I feel the elokus in me. Yeah? Parnasi haras alakis of his orish of Yisrael avin shel mashmai. Right? The Geula is, there's bad things that are going on. You got to get saved from it, right? And the Parnas is my life has to be filled with kirbas avore. The Yosef bikesh lakdim menashe, and lakdim haGeula mikochas meikim machshavas haros, va'acher kach lizkod lahar elokis b'leiv tahor. Here he says something beautiful. Like we said, of course Yosef was in touch with Parnasa and Yaakov was in touch with Geula, right? Yeah. But it's which one you go first. So again, this is a deeper level. That he's saying like this. Yosef says, look, you know what you got to do? When a person's in Tsaras, when a person has religious Tsaras or the first thing you have to do is take them out of those tsaras. And now you can put the ruchnius into them. Right, exactly. Yosef bikesh lakdim l'menashe hainu. Lahaktim haGeula mikochat hameikim machshavas haros v'achar kach lizakos laharas elokis b'leiv Torah. V'akein bikesh lahaktim Menashe. Therefore, he wanted to do Menashe first. Ach Yaakov hiktim leparnasa shi'ar elokis v'lohimtin ala Geula. V'adar mikoch har elokis zochen leGeula mikochat chitzonim machshavas ros umat or docha rav choshech. Kama. Yaakov says that's a chitzonistic. Yosef is saying like this: you just got to you got to like, let's say a guy is spending a lot of time with girls. You just got to get away from the girls. Yeah. And Yaakov is saying, no, you can get away from girls, but you got to first. You have to like put some ruchnius in him. You have to give him that orderly key. He has to understand things a little bit. Then he'll be.
That's Yosef.
Yosef is first get him away. First be goel him. The Geula is first. Yeah, Yaakov is no. Haras Elikis comes first. Look what he says. Because just to tell him, don't have anything to do with bad stuff. If he has nothing, he's going to fall back. He's not going to have anything. It's very interesting. Ach Yaakov, let's go from Yaakov. Ach Yaakov hiktim leparnasa shi'ar Elikis v'lo himtin ala Geula. Give a guy a little bit of Torah, then he won't want to be with girls. Let him see there's more to life. You tell him, you can never, usher. You can't be with girls anymore. You can't. Okay, now what? What do I do? I'm going to fall back to it. So Yaakov's like, no, I know what he's doing. I know he's doing bad stuff, but you got to wake him up a little bit. You have to give him some more Eloki. He has to see that, and then he'll be move away from it.
That's that Geula.
And that's a part of it. No, I'm giving him a harel kiss, but he's still stuck in the bad thing. But now, once you give him the good stuff, then he can separate himself. Then he can be goal himself. Right? But to get before Geula first, Lugar the Choshech term Hovad or Laki Kashamod. Uvade Haralakid Haba Achakak Belev Tor, he like Gamri Bovan Acher. Right? Yeah. we call up Matrichim Lakdim Lahor Elokis V'limit Torah Kamo Shehu. Rishvil says Zochen Legulav Az Zochen L'Shenis Lahor Elokis Bovenat Nala. So it's two mahalchim. You see someone is in a bit bad time. Do you say just get out of there? Now, obviously, it depends. Certain situations, it's obvious. Someone's in a monastery. Someone's in a someone's with nashim all the time. You got to get him out of there, right? We're not talking about that. But someone is a mahalach ra.
Yeah.
So I separate him and now I teach him, or that's the more Yosef mahalach. The Yaakov mahalach is more teach him something, and now separate him and now teach him more. Then he'll sit with him. Like what? It's the Parnasa way. The Parnasa is like the Parnasa way versus the Agula way first. Okay, I have to stop. I have to finish.
But there's a proof that Yaakov is in Parnasa from the Tehum. We say every day. Sivu al Yaakov.